grudges, resentments, and anger that we hold on to every day in our bodies, in our hearts, and in our minds. Whether you're aware of it or not, I am willing to bet you that there is a way that you are disappointed in yourself. That there is a way that
Hello, I'm Rachel Vermington, and welcome to the news. That was pretty good, right? Like, it kind of, we had the crescendo, and then I was like, hello, Rachel homo gay, etc., etc. Yeah, hi. So here's the thing. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Goosebish VT. Your first dose is always a big milestone. It seems like a long road ahead, but you've done the hardest part. Like, good on you, seriously. Here's the other thing, guys, we need to have a serious conversation. And this, thank you. Heat from fire, fire from heat. You're a debate streamer out there, and you're gonna take this down and tear this apart, and you're gonna say Rachel Vermington's a motherfucking idiot, and I don't care. My goal here is to make a convincing argument for anyone who has interest in the media, or has been asked to speak to media. My goal is to say that that is under no circumstances a good idea in this current, I'm gonna say a bad word. Oh, hey, guess what? This stream's too serious for Toby. Toby won't be here this evening. Toby's having a little nap time. In which he's like a little good boy who is quiet and says nothing. This is a serious stream. I want to talk about this, and I want to answer questions too. Like, I have a background in journalism. It's not serious. Like, I'm still like a furry character. Like, let's be honest here. Like, I'm a goofy little animal. But like, we're gonna like, my goal is to make a serious argument in favor of, or rather against, speaking to the media in does it swang? What swang? I have no idea what you're talking about. But yeah, so recently, let's start with the news. There was a article in one of the major newspapers, either the Post or the Times. They seem to become more similar every day to me, to be honest with you. It's as though they're twins, but the Post is sort of the ugly twin of the two. Both of them are terrible, of course. I never trust twins. But they've had an article about DIY HRT, which calls out the website by name. Let me pull up the Now, DIYHRT.wiki, which is a guide for transgender people to be able to access hormones outside of the conventional medical establishment. And the reason that this has caused such a scuffle, in my opinion, which I believe is accurate, is that there is significant reason. Through the course of this, we're going to be coming to agree on some truths, and I'm open to your perspectives, obviously. But one, there is an overwhelming climate of media hostility towards transgender people in the current moment, culturally. And two, while it is currently legal to DIY, putting media attention on the process of DIYing is what puts it in front of voters and legislators, which then, makes it a sort of. It's just a countdown to the end of that being allowed at that point. And I have yet to see a convincing argument that there is some. Is it ethical to synthesize your own estradiol? Should we do it? Yes, absolutely. It's ethical to synthesize any a substance which you have the ability to do within the purview of the law, and to be frank, outside of it. It is perfectly ethical to synthesize literally anything. Actually, well, like, I probably wouldn't. I'm not gonna chill with anyone who's like making Zyklon B in their basement. Like, I'm not. That's like, we're not homies at that point. But synthesize whatever you want, man. I don't know. Skim some tree bark off the top of your fish tank and eat it, like. Yeah, for real. Anyway, let's talk about it. The main understanding is that there's a sort of climate of hostility against transgender people, which sort of makes it a little dangerous to. There's sort of a very interesting conversation surrounding trans visibility that I think has a lot of nuance, and I think that I haven't really explored the depth of it yet. But this sort of understanding of trans visibility as sort of an activist sort of thing. And very quickly, oh look, they're having their evening meeting at Japanese bread making operation. Nice. Cool. They've come to listen. Can I synthesize an extra Y chromosome? I don't see why not. Sorry, I got so distracted by Japanese bread making operation. What was I fucking saying, guys? Come on. Hey, who are you watching right now? Is it Rachel? But no, the dichotomy between visibility and sort of safety. There's going to be sort of an inversion point, which I believe is already passed, but that's my opinion as a media scholar. There will be an inversion point wherein trans visibility will no longer be acceptable activism or even passive activism, but in fact a threat to transgender people. An unfortunate consequence of that is that there are some people like me, for example, hi, I'm Rachel, who are very visibly transgender, and so will not sort of have no option to stealth as you would call it. And not to say that stealthing is preferable either. I think that for someone who's interested, synthesizer, I don't even know her. Good one. Sorry. But yeah. And so part of that is that I think speaking to the media has sort of become a transgender person's version of talking to the cops, in that you don't even have to do it, really. It is something that is only dangerous for you, in my opinion. I think a lot of people like to, and I admit, like, I'm like this as well. A lot of people like to think that they're above, I mean, it's the old Garfield cartoon, right? You're not immune to propaganda. But the truth of the matter is that this is an apparatus which has operated in this way for hundreds of years, and which cannot meaningfully be outsmarted. Like, and don't get me wrong, transgender people are a smart bunch. I would know. Wait, do I not have my wink set to a hotkey? No, there's my collar. Wink. Wink? Come on. Rach. You're not gonna wink? No, come on, I just... Okay. Alright. I would know. I can't wink. Wink? Bro, how do I not have my wink set to a hotkey? Hold on. This is not... So none of this, I want to make very clear, none of this is to sort of disparage the intelligence of the average trans person. Set a hotkey. There we go. Oh shit. Discord. Yeah, I can give you the Discord. Why not? This bitch forgot to wink, truly. But no, and principally, this media apparatus is, based around making and maintaining systems of making money, right? Like, I don't... I know it's like sort of a crass anarchist thing to say, to be like, oh, businesses only care about your money, but like, this is the thing. The people who there's sort of a natural, what would you call it? Like, refining effect in business, where those that are most interested in gaining and accruing power, and in some sense you can say this for all forms of power, those who are interested in gaining and accruing power naturally float to the top, right? If you have no interest in accruing power, then it's not a particularly likely thing to happen. Hold on, I want to turn my lo-fi down a little bit. And so, you know, money is power, yada yada. Intent weapon delivery system. Oh my god, sorry, no, wait, that's an old girl me bit, damn. But yeah, so even if you are speaking with an individual reporter, or even with a team of individual reporters, or even if you have access to a news editor who is sympathetic to trans individuals, the fact of the matter is that these people are all under a system which, at its core, uses outrage to generate attention, right? And because this is an excellent business model, right? And I think when I was first in my first year of journalism school, I sort of resisted this understanding with every fiber of my being, right? I had this understanding where just sort of I was going to get into the whole thing and save the world, and the truth is that, like, no, this is simply not a possibility. There is no fixing this machine, certainly not while it is running. And we can talk about the effects of the 24-hour news cycle. We can talk about how that changed the business. Hey, this is a communications class. Let's talk about the printing press. Let's not. But no, so we can talk about these things endlessly. Pardon me, I had to have a sip of my drink. Businesses are an organism entity like any other, and they perpetuate their own existence. Exactly. And this is not even a value judgment, right? Like, I would hate to be called a communist by any self-respecting business major, but this is the explicit text of running a business, right? You are doing so to accrue money in many cases. Heat from fire, fire from heat. Thank you for that. And these businesses, of course, they generate money based on attention, based on outrage. And the thing that is going to get the most outrage is at one individual time picking a boogeyman and sort of screaming at it, really, because then everyone gets involved in the screaming, and it's sort of we can talk too about even the effectiveness of like an individual reporter sort of having a vendetta and saying like I would like to help transgender people, because in a sense that I think that's sort of wrong-headed. I really think that in the current moment, like having any involvement in certainly not any involvement in media, but having any interest in this profit-generating mechanism is it's sort of a superseding interest. I remember in journalism school, first year, when we did our like class about lighting and everything, one thing that I took away from that class was you don't fight the sun, and this is a short way of saying like whatever you're telling me journalism is about money. Yeah, I know, right? Crazy concept. But this shorthand was a way of saying, like, the sun will always be the most powerful light in your scene no matter what you do, unless you are in a completely dark room. So it's sort of, when someone is interested in working under that apparatus, it becomes a totalizing force. It becomes the sort of pole north for them. And having that as your sort of base understanding of the world, you're sort of like, I don't know if you would be familiar with the term null hypothesis. Having that awareness is activism as a null hypothesis is in and of itself, I think, short-sighted at the very least. Because I believe that there is sympathetic null hypothesis. So it's I also actually have, I forgot to put chat on the screen. Look at me. Sorry everyone. Wow, you've been speaking for no reason. Certainly not to communicate. Why would you do that? Here, let's just make sure that's layered properly. Hey, wow, we did it. Okay, chat's on the screen now. Good work, everyone. Fuck cops, I love my puppy girl wife. Hell yeah. I want to speak to this. I don't doubt that there are individually sympathetic journalists in the way that there are individually sympathetic cops. I think that journalism as an industry has a far less direct but equally sort of hostile mechanism with which to sort of instill fear and instill groupthink. There are famous stories about cops in New York City who behave in such a way that is befitting of like an activist and someone who is legitimately sympathetic to the plight of the community that they police, right? And overwhelmingly what we hear about these individual officers is that through a system of hazing, this behavior is actively discouraged, if not directly punished, right? Let me hold on. Hazing and rites of passage. Hold on. Police officer attacked for not racist. Like, I don't know how... Racial attacks from Jan 6th. Those words are weapons. Yada yada. This is not the same thing. Let me just find this quickly. God, what was the guy's name? This is one. NYPD officer harassed by superior after good deed, lawsuit alleges. Buying food for an alleged shoplifter. Suing the department over racial harassment, slurs following his good deed. Louis Sojo, a few other officers, were asked to confront a woman shoplifting Whole Foods grocery store. Well, shoot, she was stealing food to eat. Sojo says he faced years of scorn from his superior. Delagio was incensed, berated, and belittled him for the effort by stating in front of Sojo's subordinates that you are not a real cop. I mean, so there's one story, right? Here, hold on. No, this is different. This is, something else. Officers go before judge for allegedly hazing colleagues at Newark Airport. Well, that's just straight up rape. Let's not talk about that. Yes, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Adrian Schoolcraft. Officer who secretly recorded police conversations in 2008 and 2009 brought these tapes to NYPD investigators in October of 2009. Evidence of corruption within the department. The tapes were used as evidence of arrest quotas leading to police abuses such as wrongful arrests, and that emphasis on fighting crime sometimes resulted in underreporting of crimes that artificially deflate CompStat numbers. I fucking forgot about CompStat. Holy shit. CompStat makes my blood boil. Alright. Do we all know about CompStat? Let's get up to date on CompStat. CompStat was a system implemented in the 80s in New York to track crime statistics. And it incentivized crime going down while arrests went up. So, basically these two conflicting incentives created an atmosphere in New York in which policing focused on overcharging for minor crimes, and undercharging for major crimes, right? It's sort of a sweet middle spot, right? And this, I mean, we can talk endlessly about New York's history with policing. It's simply unacceptable in many cases. Well, unacceptable. Sorry, yeah, hang on. I just about talked myself ass backwards into saying, well, sometimes police are good. Fuck you, Rachel. Fuck you, you little shit for brains. Why don't you lick your own taint, you stupid dog? Anyway, let's all pretend I didn't say that. Adrian Schoolcraft. Do we want to listen to the Adrian Schoolcraft tapes? Let's see if I can find them. But yeah, Adrian Schoolcraft, disclosure, involuntary commitment. Yeah, he was drugged and committed because he came out with these tapes. Like committed to a mental asylum because he came out with these tapes. Why don't you lick your own? And the audio skipped for me. LMAO. Good. I'm gonna give a blanket content warning for these tapes, by the way. I imagine they will be just about as racist as you think they are. Hold on. Let me see. And then we'll get back to talking about the ways in which journalism has similar incentives, if obfuscated by layers of Did they not publish the actual tapes? NYPD tapes. Let's see. The NYPD tapes. Oh, it's a trade paperback. Wow. This American Life, is that a tape recorder in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? This American Life, that's not very funny. Anyway. Here we go. I think this will be it. Blanket content warning for, like, police being the way they are. Here, hold on. Actually, you know what? Give me one quick second here. Duplicate. Maybe don't, in case stupid random Twitch event happens. What would stupid random Twitch event be? What are you talking about? What are you fucking talking about, bro? Explain that. How do I reach these kids? Alright, okay. Hold on. Watch this. Rach, figure it out. Rach, figure it out. Oh, I'm not gonna get hate rated. No one's gonna hate rate me. If I get hate rated, it'll be handled. I'll handle it. Hey, I'm built different. Like, you guys won't get to chat for a couple streams probably, but that's not my fucking problem. Hey. Oops. Hey. What the F? What the drat darn? What the heckin' stupid? Alright. Hold on. Meow. Meow. So let's do a meme. First time catching a stream and serious cops videos and shit. I'm a smart girl. I know about shit. Like I don't know. Anyway. Here's what we're gonna be playing for a little bit.
The mayor and the commissioner say that there aren't any quotas.
That's a lie. There are definitely quotas. There are quotas for everything.
He said 20 and 1. 20 summonses, 1 arrest. That's what the union is backing up. The Bronx trustees. So, it's sad, you know, here they are, establishing quotas with their department.
So what they're doing now is you have a lot of officers who are looking for arrests at the end of their tour. Let's say you finish your tour at 3 p.m. 2:30, 2:45, 3 o'clock. You'll hear it go over the radio. Car stop here, another 2 minutes. Car stop here, another 2 minutes. I stopped this person, I stopped that person, because they know. Every 15 minutes after your tour ends, it's overtime. It becomes you're just stopping people who you know aren't doing anything, and then you're frisking them. You know, pretty much turns you upside down and violates your rights.
People who might commit the crime, I'm forced to write them. Sometimes I don't know if they committed it or not. There might be a beer right next to them. Don't know if it's theirs. But I'm under these time constraints. I'm running out of time, and I gotta make the quota. And if I don't, I get retaliated against. It's either me or him.
Your back is to the wall, because if you don't come back with what they asked for, you may be subject to some kind of retaliation.
When the chief came in, I said, you know what, we really can't reduce crime much more. He said, what we can do, though, is get some of our people who aren't chipping in to go to some locations we're having problems and give them the business, where rightfully they should. And that's all we're asking you to do, that's all. That's all. And if we do that, and everyone chips in, it's fine, it's really non-negotiable, but if you don't do it now, I'm going to have you work with the boss to make sure it happens.
He said, for those that aren't chipping in, you get thrown on a foot post in a bad area. And you're gonna be there to give him the business, he says. And if you still don't do it, you're gonna be put in a car with a sergeant. The same thing's going on everywhere. That's just nonsense.
Quotas is what it was called a few years ago by the police department. Now they say it in other words. They just don't say it that clear. Now it's called activity goals. I'm not reaching the quota. That's the reason they switched my squad. The commander took me out of the holiday squad, so I wouldn't have any holidays off this year with my family. You could do amazing work for years. In those 1 or 2 months when you bring in low activity, you're the worst cop ever in the police department. And they'll come after you. That's the way the police department is.
The way I think about it is, say a fireman is told by his supervisor, we need you to put out 15 fires this month. And if you don't put out 15 fires, you're gonna get penalized. So if he doesn't find 15 fires to put out, is that his fault? It's not, but the fireman might even go out there and start setting fires, causing fires, you know? Just so he's not penalized or looks bad. You know, and that's kind of what the police officers are doing.
Sorry, that was good because I made a slip, so you never get to hear it. I like that one officer who said it's like if you told a fireman to put out 15 fires. I find that almost scarily apt, really. In terms of and this is what I've observed, okay? I have interviewed. This is the thing. I can't really say like I'm a ex-journalist tells all. Like that's not me, right? In my third year of journalism school, like every other student, I applied to over 200 different internships, and I only received calls back when I omitted my chosen name and my pronouns from my resume and my cover letter. My understanding is that the climate of journalism in the West, certainly in the global core, as we would call it, I don't like that word. It is anti-trans, and so a number of freelancers will and this was back when I just graduated a journalism school. As I would work with a number of freelancers who would I would be sort of their trans source on a story, and the truth of the matter is that my words were almost always twisted, right? I very much believed that I was like, okay, I'm above this, I'm contributing to the discourse in a way that is trans positive, because I myself am a trans person. Wow, how great. But the fact of the matter is that editors are looking for transphobia because transphobia stirs up controversy, and because editors are looking for transphobia, freelancers who are very often desperate, poor, disenfranchised, will serve exactly what is ordered from them, and this sort of makes the reporter themselves sort of absent in the conversation about what they produce. In all seriousness, all reporters are bastards. Like, let's talk about this. Toby's having a big nap. He's so fucking comfy. Sorry. Right, so if the market is demanding from you that you create transphobia, if you're a starving artist and you don't have strong convictions about transphobia, then you are going to produce transphobia, invariably. Even sympathetic allies will, when there was an officer in that piece about quotas that said it's him or me, and I think very often that is the case, or I suppose that is how people who work in media feel they're being treated, and to be honest, I don't find that a particularly false. Well, it's not a bad assessment. It really is him or me a lot of the time. I think this is why there's sort of a serious conversation that needs to be had with media workers that is not being had. I think for a long time I sort of balked at the idea of representation. I famously, well, not famously, I contributed to the GLAAD guide on representation, and all of my contributions were removed, so that's fine. But maybe this is just my personal vendetta, actually. What if that was the case? No, I mean, seriously. So that's my case. Let's give some practical tips. 1, never talk to the media. You don't have to. Close your mouth. There's no reason to do it. I mean, quite seriously. And like, I'm talking to you, talking directly to you. Don't do it. Don't. I'm not gonna do it. There is no media producer who is above the sort of apparatus of it all, including me. If you choose to speak with Studio Ratterday, that's because because I've established like a trust in community, and I don't think that any reporter who has not established that trust thoroughly should be laughed right out of town, to be quite frank with you. The entire point of being a reporter is to establish a sort of trust, and if you cannot establish that trust because there are outside incentives that work counter to that trust, then you simply should not be allowed to do what you're doing. But yeah. Let's talk practical tips. If you're at a protest, what do you do? Anyone want to guess? You're at a protest, someone in a news van comes up to you. They say, "Hi, we're looking to speak with people here." What do you do? Don't talk to anybody. That's a good idea. What if they keep hounding you, or they start bothering other people who don't have the understanding that you do? What do you do then? Because that's what they'll do. I remember the first journalism class I took. They said, your goal is to become comfortable with being a nuisance, and that's absolutely what they'll do. The strategy I was taught, boo them. That's a good one. Playing copyrighted music. This is all sort of a more culture jamming approach, which I actually like. That's real radical of you guys. Like I'm actually a little proud. Culture jamming is absolutely one technique, although there is a discussion to be had about like sort of the optics of culture jamming and how it fits into play Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. Yeah, how it fits into protest. I think when I did the majority of my coverage on protests, Black when the back. Bleh, the whole summer with George Floyd and Black Lives Matter was when the majority of my coverage happened, and so there was sort of a desire to have a somber atmosphere at these events. No one was really there to party, certainly. This was a sort of the mission of Black liberation and not much. Beat them with hammers in Team Fortress 2. And again, the other thing is like, are violent responses valid in this context? And that really depends. I would certainly never call for violence against anyone, but if the way I was taught is you stop them. And I did this because I was a little bit of a media liaison. Can I call for violence against Joanne? I don't think you should call for violence against anyone because this is Twitch. But the way I was taught, stop them, ask them what they want. If they say we want to speak to someone about the protest, you say very specifically, wait here. I'm going to go and ask an organizer if we're taking questions from media today. And you go, ask an organizer, because the organizer invariably is going to have more expertise than you. And if they say no, just leave them standing there. Like, that is really the only safe way to talk to media at a protest. Oh, I see. I can call for violence against Joanne. Well, you can, but I can't. But I think you're invariably going to have to get used to turning these things down, right? As the transgender body, as a political group, becomes more significant, we're all going to become more significant in the lives of both the people who God seek to destroy us, but also the people who it's just the general public, the public sphere. At a protest is basically one of the times where I would say talk to media specifically to direct them towards organizers and people who have had media training, because if you walk up to them and you say, you know, don't be here, they're going to walk around the outside and talk to someone else. And that someone else might not have the same sort of anarchist outlook that you have, right? Invariably, and this is important as well, don't point them towards organizers, because if an organizer does not want to take questions from the media, then then you don't want to put a target on their back. You don't want to say, this is the person you should harass all day, because an organizer is also doing like other more important shit than talking to some pops, you know? Importantly, I think we're all going to have to learn a little bit about information control in the time coming up. And a lot of the time, I think people think of, like, you know, the Hollywood hacker type attacks, right? The sort of email, the glamorous, the glitz and glam of an email phishing scam, and not, like, being careful about, you know, where you live, who you associate with, where you get your illegal drugs. Not illegal currently not illegal, but gray market drugs. What about the T-girl Meow Meow who leaked the NSA no-fly list? We're having her on stream at some point. I don't have a meaningful critique of Maya's actions. I think that Maya is operating on a level that is not immune to critique, but certainly is based as hell, and so awesome, cool pilled and thumbs up mode. You know? No, but yeah, she's coming on for season 3 of Ratterday, and it's gonna be awesome. Her actions are so gender to me, not gonna lie. Yeah, no, right? The inherent gender of leaking the TSA's no-fly list. And Maya Crimeu has sort of, I think, a similar media policy to me, where she'll go on like podcasts to shoot the shit, but she won't. She doesn't talk to fucking like Tucker Carlson. And we should all strive to be more like that. Hey, never talk to Tucker Carlson if you can help it. Talk to Rachel. Hey guys, it's me, Rachel, your favorite girl. What's up? Shout out Maya. Absolute legend. Crimeo. By the way, Rachel, do you have goat horns? Yes, I do. They were a present from my ex-fiance. It's not tragic. We ended things amicably, but you know, that's what they're from. Yeah. And the thing is too, I think and I had a little bit of this spirit in me. I still do, to be honest with you. Whenever I can get away with chirping at cops, I'll absolutely do it. But you like, there's an instinct to be like a badass about it, right? Chirping is a Canadianism for like short, witty insults. I want to play a talk from the Regent University School of Law. Is this the right one?
That's an impressive resume. Years later, when he was a justice on the Supreme Court, I was invited to give you a taste of a typical law school classroom experience here today, and I thought I would...
I think this is the right one, but it's 45 minutes. You will whistle at them all nasty. You catcall the cops. No, it's more like if you see like 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 if you're walking by and there's like a cop that's like 5'3", you're like, who you gonna arrest, Tiny? It's, I don't know, something like that. It's just like it's short, witty insults that you can make them use to make them feel bad. I know there's a shortened version of this talk. James Duquesne.
Here's the book that he mentioned a moment ago. You have the right to remain innocent.
James Duquesne. Where is James Duquesne? Never talk to the police, James Duquesne. There's like a short clip from this. 10 reasons not to talk to the police. Here we go. Let's watch this. It's 10 minutes long, so sit tight.
Okay, why you should never talk to the police. Let me just spell it out for you. Let me make it plain to all of you. These are the top 10 reasons. Number 1, and this really ought to be good enough. Contrary to what you laymen instinctively and naturally suppose, it cannot help. There is no way it can help. Officer Brook, you've interviewed thousands of criminal suspects. Have you ever, how many times in your experience, have you approached someone, asked if you could ask him some questions because prior to the interview you had some evidence pointing to his possible guilt? And because of the extraordinary persuasiveness and eloquence with which he articulated his innocence, you said, oh, sorry, never mind. Bad call, my bad, I won't. And he talked you out of arresting him.
You know the answer to that.
Never. Never. It never happens. I've often asked other criminal defense attorneys, in all of your experience, have you ever once had a case where you looked back in hindsight and said, thank God my client talked to the police? They laugh at me. They laugh at me. They say, you've got to be kidding me. You cannot help you. You can't talk your way out of getting arrested. And contrary to what you might suppose if you never studied the rules of evidence, what you tell the police, even if it's exculpatory, cannot be used to help you at trial. Because it's what we call hearsay. Under the rules of evidence, specifically Rule 801 D2A, if you want to look it up, everything you tell the police, as the saying goes, can and will be used against you, but it cannot be used for you. From time to time, I've known attorneys who tried to call to the stand a police officer and say, officer, would you tell the jury what my client told you because what my client told him is actually good for my case? If you tried that at trial, the prosecutor will object that it's hearsay, and the judge will agree. The police will not be allowed, at your request, to tell the jury what your client told him, no matter how good it may be for your case. It cannot help. Number 2, obviously one of the most obvious. If your client is guilty, as many of them are, but even if he's not, even if he's innocent, he may well admit his guilt with no benefit in return. You don't got to admit your guilt the first time they come by to meet with you. In federal court, 86% of all defendants plead guilty at some point before trial. Number 3, even if your client is innocent and he denies his guilt and almost entirely tells the truth, odds are good he will easily get carried away and tell some little lie or make some little mistake that will hang him. So he goes in there and he meets with the police. He says, I don't know what you're talking about. I was nowhere near there. I didn't kill him. I've never killed anybody. I don't have a gun. I've never had a gun. I've never touched a gun in my life. I was nowhere near Virginia Beach that night. That last line was a lie. He went over the top. He was getting carried away. He got into this groove. He started saying all kinds of things, almost all of them true, that he knew would tend to exculpate himself. Then he got carried away and just said one thing that wasn't true, and unfortunately for him, they can prove that it wasn't true. He may be convicted on that basis alone. Because even if your client is innocent and only tells the truth and doesn't say anything that is false, let's assume he gives the police nothing but the truth, and he is totally innocent, he will always give the police some information that can be used to help convict him. Always. For example, suppose you tell this to the police. Here's what your client tells to the police in his denial of guilt. I don't know what you were talking about. I didn't kill Jones. I don't know who did. I wasn't anywhere near that place. I don't have a gun. I've never owned a gun in my life. I don't even know how to use a gun. Yeah, sure, I never liked the guy, but who did? I wouldn't kill him. I've never hurt anybody in my life, and I would never do such a thing. Let's suppose every word of that is true. 100% of it is true. What will the jury hear at trial? Officer Brook, was there anything about this, your interrogation, your interview with the suspect that made you concerned that he might be the right one? Yes, there was. He confessed to me that he never liked the guy. And then the prosecutor will put that up in big letters, and he'll say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it's pretty clear that we've got the right guy here. We've proven that he was in Virginia Beach that night. That's opportunity. And remember, Officer Brook admitted that after extended questioning, he was finally able to get the defendant to admit that he never liked the guy. There's your motive. Motive plus opportunity. Wham, bam. Please. The United States Supreme Court, don't take my word for this, in Ohio versus Reiner, the Supreme Court of the United States said, quote, one of the Fifth Amendment's basic functions is to protect innocent men who otherwise might be ensnared by ambiguous circumstances. Truthful responses of an innocent witness, as well as those of a wrongdoer, may provide the government with incriminating evidence from the speaker's own mouth. See, it's not just some criminal defense attorney telling you this. Even the Supreme Court says I'm right. Ullman versus United States, the Supreme Court said, more than 50 years ago, eerily prophetic. They said too many Americans, even those who should be better advised, view this privilege as a shelter for wrongdoers. They too readily assume that those who invoke it are either guilty of crime or commit perjury in claiming the privilege. That's not true, and it never has been. But it gets worse. Can it get worse? It can. Number 5. Even if your client is innocent and only tells you the truth and does not tell the police anything incriminating, which, by the way, is almost impossible to pull this off. I mean, imagine talking to the police for 2, 3, 4 hours, and somebody like him can't somehow manage to extract from you something that can be used to help convict you. But even if you could pull it off, there's still a grave chance that his answers can and will be used to crucify you in a court of law if the police, no offense, don't recall his testimony with 100% accuracy. Even if your client is innocent and only tells the truth and doesn't tell them anything incriminating, and his statement is videotaped, his answers can be used to crucify him. You might say, wait, how can that happen? I insisted, in my insistence, I called the police and I said, look, if you want to talk to my client, you can talk to him, but only if you videotape the whole thing. I don't want there to be any debate between the two of you over what happened. Okay, we'll videotape the whole thing. If the police don't recall their questions with 100% accuracy, he'll be convicted on that statement alone. For example, suppose a man goes to the police, they say, we're investigating a possible murder, a shooting, and the guy says, quote, I don't know who killed Jones, Officer Brook, with all due respect, it wasn't me, I've never touched or fired a gun in my life. You're gambling with your client's life. And police officers can very easily make a mistake like that, just as so many of you did just a few minutes ago, about whether you recalled having heard me say something about somebody actually being shot. Police make mistakes, innocently, inadvertently, unintentionally. Any statement, no matter how exculpatory it may seem on its face, can be used to crucify you all by itself if the police are either willing to lie, not likely, or if they just have an innocent misrecollection of the details as to what they did and did not tell you before you told them what you said. All of these, by the way, all of these problems disappear if you take Justice Jackson's advice and say, thank you very much, officer, but no thanks. How about this one? Here we go. Now, here's the most surprising of all. I've saved the most surprising one for last. Let's suppose you've got the following scenario. Your client's thinking about talking to the police. He says, I've got nothing to hide. They think that I killed somebody in Virginia Beach last night. Well, this is what your client tells you in confidence. I don't know who robbed that store. It wasn't me. In fact, I've got a pretty good alibi. I wasn't even in Virginia Beach last night. I was 4 hours away visiting my mother in the Outer Banks. Unfortunately, no, I did not pay for gas with a credit card. I used cash, and so I've got no witnesses that can prove I was there except my word, and of course, Mama, for what that's worth, which is nothing. So your client says, so the police want to talk to me, and I want to seem cooperative, so what I'll do is I'll tell them that I was in the Outer Banks last night. Now, there's nothing on its face incriminating about any of that. He's not admitting motive, he's not admitting opportunity, he's not admitting that he was there. How on earth could this come back to haunt us? How on earth could this come back to be used against us? Even if your client is innocent and only tells the truth and doesn't tell the police anything incriminating, and the entire interview, questions and answers are videotaped, even his truthful answers can be helped to use crucify even an innocent man if the police, through no fault of theirs, end up in the possession of any evidence, even mistaken and unreliable evidence, that anything your client told them was false, even if in fact it was true. Let's suppose I go ahead and I meet with the police. I think I got nothing to hide. I tell them I was in the Outer Banks last night, officer. How can that be used to convict me? By itself, it cannot. It cannot help at all by itself. But what if I later find out, to my horror, after I put my cards on the table, that they've got a witness, a girl that I went to high school with, an unimpeachable witness. We've never been enemies. She'd have no reason to lie. She swears she thinks she saw me in Virginia Beach last night, a couple of blocks away from that store, about an hour before it was robbed. Now, her testimony by itself isn't going to help the prosecutor. Hell, if she's all they've got, I'll get this case thrown out before trial. But if, like an idiot, I talked to the police and I told them the truth, I told them I was in the Outer Banks, and now, lo and behold, tragically, it turns out they've got a witness, a false, mistaken, confused, but sincere and credible witness who could testify that I was here in Virginia Beach. Now they're likely to get a conviction. Because what they'll do, I've just turned this cop and this woman into the government star witnesses. They'll put Officer Brook on to testify about how my client lied to him about being in the Outer Banks, and then they'll put on this girl who otherwise would have not even helped with their case at all, who will testify, no, that's not true, that was a lie. I saw Mr. Duane's client here in Virginia an hour before the robbery, not so far from the store. By herself, she would not have helped the government in any significant way. But what I have just done, you see, is given them the other part of the puzzle. And now I'm doomed. Just ask them. On the left, we have Martha Stewart. She was the subject of an extensive government investigation that was looking into the possibility that she was guilty of violations of certain federal laws, securities laws, fraud kinds of things. They couldn't pin that on her, but they were able to get a conviction because she denied it. Talking to the police and later to some of the shareholders, she said, no, it's not true. I was not guilty. So they charged her with lying to federal investigators. and they got a conviction, and she was sentenced to 5 months in prison. Marion Jones on the right side, another person who would still be out today if she had always taken the advice that I'm giving you now. She was asked if she had ever used steroids, a controlled substance. And instead of taking the fifth, she said, no, I never took steroids when I won those Olympic gold medals. Later on, it turned out that she was lying. She worked out a deal. She pled guilty. She admitted that she was lying. And she, over her strenuous, tear-filled objection, even though she has 2 young children, was just recently sentenced to prison for 6 months. The guy who sold her the steroids, the pusher, he got only 4 months. But she got 6 months because she lied to the police and said that she did not do it. So, my advice to you, Justice Jackson was right. Any sane, competent lawyer in his right mind will always tell every client under all circumstances, I don't care if you're innocent. I don't care if it's the truth. If it's the truth, great. We'll tell the jury all about it. There'll be time enough to put our cards on the table. So keep your mouth shut. Don't answer any questions. Let's take the fifth. You'll be glad that you did. God bless America.
Yeah. All right. Well, shit. All right. There we go. And I want to talk about that too. What any media apparatus. Okay. Let's. It's really that easy. Shut the fuck up, Friday. It's Don't Talk to the Press Tuesday. I love how. So true, but also nice tweet. Oh, thanks. It's Shut the Fuck Up Friday. Haha. Yeah, I forgot. Whoops. Haha. I wish Gwen 10 was my cousin. Fuck off, dude. I hate that guy. And this is essentially what any media apparatus is doing, right? Even sympathetic media apparatuses. Okay, like, we've gone through, like, let's say you have a sympathetic reporter who works for a sympathetic company who... sympathetic reporter, and he's got a sympathetic editor, and this sympathetic editor has a sympathetic editor-in-chief, and the sympathetic editor-in-chief answers to a sympathetic shareholder, and the shareholder answers to a sympathetic fucking loan shark. I don't know, man. What you were doing is you were helping build a body of evidence. So you say to this sympathetic editor that, hey, this is the place where I get illegal drugs from, right? Or gray market drugs from. All of a sudden, that gets into a senator's head. Oh my God, these transsexuals who are abusing children sexually are also selling drugs on the dark web. Like, this is clearly a criminal underground. It's a continuing body of evidence, and none of it has to be true, guys. Let's talk about this. Like, this is the crux of it. I really want to sit you down and like let you know that there's no mechanism by which it has to be true. They will lie to your fucking face. Oh, sorry, that hit me. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be trans anymore. Just kidding. I'm always gonna be trans, guys. These have been the best years of my life, and I do mean that. And I think that after my BRB, I want to come back and we can just have some good old fashioned trans positivity. Just to sort of reset the vibe. But this is okay. This is the body of evidence, right? No, you didn't say anything bad. I sort of made myself sad by being like, I thought too much about how, like, the dominant media narrative about, like, my people is that we, are awful to children. To the point where, like, you'll walk into a grocery store and someone will be smashing Bud Light on the ground. Sorry, no, not even Bud Light, Budweiser, which is a separate brand. Smashing Budweiser on the ground impotently, outraged against the transgender mob and how they all, but in any case, I made myself sad thinking about that there are so many people in the world who, like, just hate my girlies, lol. Over a TikTok. Hold on one second. Are they not in the right place? Okay. Just there? Okay. Sure. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, man. It looks the same to me. We should organize fuck-ins as a form of protest. That's fascinating. fuck-ins as a form of protest. But no, so I was talking about this sort of body of evidence, right? They're building a body of evidence against you, whether or not the people you talk to, the organization that you talk to, gives a shit about your rights as a person. It's part of the body of evidence, right? And if we could all not put out into the world that we are, buying and selling illegal drugs, not illegal, okay, fuck, sorry, gray market drugs over the internet, then that would be awesome. You know what I mean? Because like let's in the dominant cultural narrative, let's talk about Gramsci, baby, whatever. In the dominant cultural narrative, it is bad behavior to buy and sell drugs, whether or not they are legal or illegal, unless you are backed by the medical apparatus, which this has no backing. Unless you are actively backed by the medical apparatus, it is considered bad behavior in the dominant cultural understanding to buy and sell drugs, right? And so it becomes fuel for these people who want to frame everything we do as bad by also saying, well, look, they buy and sell drugs, right? I really want to hammer home that even talking to a sympathetic reporter about HRT, for example, is itself like putting more danger on the on. Anyway. Okay. And Mia Mulder has a video that came out recently. I'm not going to play all of it or really any of it, but Mia Mulder has a video that came out about the trans debate, in which it doesn't even matter that these things are untrue or that they're legislatively irrelevant, right? Let's say that it goes to the House floor. Well, okay. It goes to a politician's desk that transgender people are buying and selling hormones. Again, we can talk about the problem of visibility here. Buying and selling gray market hormones. Let's say it's like a sympathetic politician as well. A sympathetic politician goes out on the House floor and says, Isn't it awful that these people have to, they don't have access to professional health care, and so they have to go and buy gray market drugs? Not great. Because now that political actor's opponent is going to see that and say, well, the part that I understand is that these people are buying and selling gray market drugs. And if that happens to become their bugaboo and they say, these people are buying and selling gray market drugs, in addition to, every other cultural myth which I, as a politician, take as gospel, right? Not only are they doing this, not only are they doing that, not only are they doing this, they're also buying and selling gray market drugs, which is bad because we in the cultural lexicon understand buying and selling drugs as bad. Whether or not this goes to a vote and they say actually it's perfectly constitutional for these people to synthesize, buy, sell these gray market drugs, and there is not a single law passed about it. What actually matters is the way that it changes the cultural understanding of law as a concept, right? I will say one thing, police officers are not required to know the law in any meaningful capacity. Police officers that is not their role, right? And what we saw out of sort of that one summer where everyone was with Black Lives Matter was that The fuck was I just about to say? Was that there's no relationship between policing and the law. The relationship between the relationship with policing is about a cultural sense of order more than it's about the law, right? Having sort of a cultural sense that everything is in order. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I talk in circles when I get stoned. But policing is overwhelmingly about a sense of order, rather than the law. And so, let's say this politician puts forward a law that says no more gray market drugs, and everyone else says, fuck that, it's totally constitutional and badass to buy and sell gray market drugs. It still infects the cultural consciousness with the understanding that these people are doing something wrong. Even if you can't put your finger on it, and say, like, they are doing something wrong. I'm reminded of, ironically, okay, this is a community teaching moment. Everyone knows about Dead Bunny, right? Let's talk about the fanfic. Let's talk about Dead Bunny fanfic for a second. I saw today someone tweet, isn't Dead Bunny that creepy person who got arrested for 15 years for, like, killing a baby? Like, no, bro. Fuck off. Are you serious? But there's still that sort of cultural consciousness, cultural understanding of, like, Dead Bunny as a canceled person is, you know, quote unquote bad, which I don't agree with. One time it ghosted me on a commission, which I'm, like, still kind of beat up about, but, you know, whatever. Dead Bunny, come on the show. Don't come on the show. Or if you want to. Fuck, I don't know, man. It's not unlike a sort of reputation meter in a video game, you know what I mean? Who's Dead Bunny? Dead Bunny is an artist who, was, like, accused of necrophilia, and, like, had stories made up about them. I'm reminded of this cyberbullying campaign which I participated in against Deadmau5, in which you would imply that Deadmau5 ran over a fucking orphanage, killed a bunch of orphans. Even though he didn't do that, it was just funny to say. Because you picture the Ferrari and the dead orphans, and you're like, this is like fun juxtaposition or whatever. Yeah. So, Lady Beard says, even if the reporter and everyone they're working for is unfalteringly sympathetic, which I feel like is pretty unlikely, they can be put out in maliciously reinterpreted spread without context in hurtful ways. Can't think of good wording. No, but you're so right, and I understand exactly what you're saying. I think you're absolutely right. If you're considered a valid target, then people can and will accuse you of the most heinous shit. It'll be believed without a second thought. And that's true, right? I think that before the cultural conversation on DIY HRT blew up, was that there were already people who believed that in addition to all the other horrible things said about us, that transgender people were also like dealing drugs, LMAO, I guess. Okay. Sorry, I just got depressed again. Give me a sec. And like, here's the thing, guys, we're all dealing drugs out here. Like, who gives a fuck? Guys, hey, let's talk to each other. You can buy pot from a dude with a Confederate flag tattoo. Like, It's almost all of them, in fact. There's no divide between like who's buying and selling drugs. We're all buying and selling drugs because drugs are a part of being human. And I suppose if you're like a Catholic Mormon in the Deep South and you live in a building without internet or running water, then fuck, man, I don't know. Have sex with your daughter or something. Don't make it my problem. Oh, that sucked. Okay. But yeah, that's my argument. My argument is that there is nothing good that can come from it. There are people who are smarter than you, and the best thing that you can do is direct infinitely up that chain of people who are smarter than you, or stop them at the door, right? There are certain situations where you cannot avoid having someone talk to the media, and so in only those situations, I would recommend directing, up the chain. Culture jamming was an interesting topic that was brought up a second ago, by playing Rick Astley quite loud so they can't use the footage. I will say we had training in journalism school about how to deal with culture jamming, and overwhelmingly the basis was not don't get the story, but culture jamming would almost always become the story if it happened, right? If myself and another student were like out on a story, and someone like ran in a Batman costume and took a shit on the floor, like that was the story, and we were, look at this bastard buffoon taking a shit on the floor. What an idiot. It's a way of getting attention, certainly, but there are sort of mechanisms within the apparatus already to deal with it. I love saying academics be like the apparatus. What does that mean, Rach? Culture jamming is I mean I would love if it was that simple, right? Because culture jamming, I think there is something sort of alluring about it, right? To say that there is a way of cleverly using the system against itself. And I think in some ways that this is true, right? Like you are disrupting a person who might seek to do you harm by doing this, but overwhelmingly, I don't know. I can't think of a single a sort of instance of culture jamming in which it did not reinforce some already existing narrative about that culture. The one I spring to all the time is like culture jamming about weight loss. Always took on, and this is a very like 2006 like meme. There was a trend of culture jamming about weight loss where vandals would, get up on a billboard and replace a billboard by saying like you should have a flat tummy, with saying sort of all bodies are beautiful, and putting sort of a different body type up there. By doing that, first of all, you're increasing the visibility of someone who is already like a targeted person in some cases, right? I'm not going to say like, I don't think Rainn Wilson really has, I mean, why Rainn Wilson has a target on her back, but invariably like, sorry, I got absorbed in the vibes. How to talk to the press. Don't be clever. Don't think you're clever, because you're not clever. Just don't. Do we have any questions? I feel like I could answer some questions right now. We could run through some scenarios. Let's run through some scenarios. Okay. Hello. This actually happened to me. Ring, 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 ring. Hello. Hi, I'm Rachel Vermington. I'm from the Toronto Star. I'm not from the Toronto Star. I'm from a made-up newspaper. I'm from made-up newspaperton. Maybe. Okay. I'm from made up. Okay, hey Rach, maybe say I'm from madeupnewspaper.com, and I want to ask you, how do you find the climate of trans acceptance at your school? You're an academic. How do you, or at your workplace? Let's talk about this. What bothers you about the way you're what? Hey. Hangup.wav. Good one. What I did in that situation was I gave my honest opinion. I said, I'm finding it difficult to feel accepted as a trans person when the systems that are put in place have heavy restrictions around changing your name. I was not able to change my name within the system, and as a trans person, that is something that is important to me. They painted my ass as a radical communist because I quoted Graham and Thrift and their sort of belief that like systems are supposed to work for us, not against us. And they and also I got in trouble with the school because they called the school and they said, "Is this possible?" And the school said, "Yeah, this is how you do it." And so I was painted as a fucking dumb shit because of course, I'm a lazy transsexual. I never even tried to change my name in the system, and that's why it didn't work, you see. Instead, no, the mechanism is there. Rachel Vermington is just a fucking dum-dum. And that sucked. That fucking sucked. I would be honest with you. It is not fun to be like the target of ridicule. It is not fun to be a person who is quoted saying something that then the cultural consciousness goes on to agree was just being a sort of a little temper tantrum, little crybaby stomp my feet so much, you know? Anyway. So good. You guys did better than me on that one. Sorry, I'm getting absorbed in the vibes. I kind of want to turn this into a music review stream after the break. What do we feel? How do we feel about that? Because I've been re-listening to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and I think it has some parallels to the conversation we've just been having. How do we feel about that? How many people are here? Let's just make that value judgment first. Oh, shit. The thing didn't go off. Hoping, did the beat go off? I nut and then my meat goes soft? Welcome to the Rachel Show. Rachel, hey, what if I did a Tucker Carlson tonight? Would you guys think that was cool if I got up here every week and was like, now, the Democrats want you to believe that it's your God-given right to access any body changing procedures, even as low as the age of 1 year old. But us terrible fascists over on the right believe in awful things such as the Bible and the Constitution. Ha! This is America. This is the America we're living in, folks. This is America. Ooh. Anyway, what if I took a hard right turn? Would you guys still love me? Live Ratty reaction box, maybe. Yeah. I don't know much. With your funny PNG tuber in it. I'm funny. You're funny looking. Am I funny looking? Yeah. Probably not. Hey, Noombers, I really appreciate the honesty with you, to be honest with you. I think that's quite legendary. And this is the thing too, you should be willing to abandon your faves if they start being shitty. I know but this is like the bottom of the barrel in terms of like media activism, but abandon your faves. I mean, seriously, like, what are you doing? Sorry, I'm so absorbed in the vibes. What the hell? Dude, this is my new fucking playlist, you know what I mean? This is my new fucking playlist. This is my new Stream Lo-Fi playlist. Hey, thanks for that. Stream Lo-Fi man. Lo-Fi Blow-Fi, as I call him. If you became one of those Christian fascist light furries, I would get so fucking mad. I would sit through the No. Wait, what the fuck are you, hey, what are you fucking talking about? I would sit through the Keffelization of Rachel Vermington as long as the art got a Confederate flag. What is that? Hey guys. Hey, what are you saying? First of all, no, I'm not gonna become Keffels. I'm already doing Keffels. Fuck, I just realized. Oh fuck. Oh man, this sucks. I'm being a debate streamer right now. I'm Vosh. I'm a funny little character and I'm furry Vosh. No! Hey Rachel, go on Vosh. Rachel, go on Vosh. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I'm actually gonna fucking bawl my eyes out tonight. Whatever. If you became one of those Christian fascist light furries, we would get so fucking mad. Ratty, you should go on Destiny and admit to being a huge racist. Yeah, I hope that's not genuinely an opinion that you hold about me, but if it is, let me know, cause, you know, I'm always trying to get better. If you became one of those Christian fascist light furries, we would get so fucking mad. I am a Christian girl. I feel like I'm doing edge play with y'all by being like, yeah, I pray to God and stuff. You know, it was what my mom taught me. I haven't known my mom to be wrong that often. My mom rules. I love my mom. She's so cool. You know what? You know what would be a good resource for this? Let's check the replies to some of the tweets I made on this subject. It's Shut the Fuck Up Friday. You're so right. Bubbles Muffin will not. That's my toe pick. Hold on. God loves me and he loves you too. I am not God's mistake. You are not my, If AOC brings up DIY, that'll be the canary. Fuck, okay, well. Yeah, unfortunately, the thing is, I'm correct about everything and no one ever yells at me, so. We don't think you're secretly anything. I don't have secrets. I'm an open book. Except for the fact that I'm secretly like a girl who's an actor playing this character, Rachel Vermington. The Democrats would have you believe that Ratterday Night is not scripted. That it's... Oh, you have no idea what's true. Do we have any questions before we close out this segment of the stream? I do wanna do music. Music would be fun. Ben Ratpiro. I hate that little man. Never ever speak to me about Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is maybe the most pathetic of all of God's children. If I had to sort of you know, if I had to say honestly, Ben Shapiro doesn't even fucking exist anymore. He got tossed from the noosphere or something like that. God, fuck, we just got reminded of this art. Furry Tucker Carlson live reaction. Remembered it's by an open Nazi fat fur artist. Why is it always fat fur, man? I bet it's cause they probably have fucked up understandings about like royalty or whatever. That makes sense, actually. Yeah. Alright, well, hey. Hey, listen. We all know a little bit more about the media now, don't we? And if you have any questions, come at me. My advice will always be, shut the fuck up Friday. Tuck it away Tuesday. Amen. God loves you, God loves me. We'll be right back.
Don't go away. Roddy and friends will be right back.
The CIA is ordering the White House to conduct broadcast TV radiation LSD experiments on Americans to attract the attention of a younger audience. CIA Director James Woolsey said he expects the experiments to feature endorsements from TV and rock stars. The U.S. military expects the younger audience to fully comply, 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 Teep, 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 teep,
Broadcast TV, LSD, Broadcast TV, radiation, 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 Broadcast TV, LSD.
is ordering the White House to conduct broadcast TV radiation LSD experiments on Americans.
Broadcast TV, LSD.
This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test of the Emergency Broadcast Network. In voluntary cooperation with local, state, and federal authorities, the Emergency Broadcast Network has developed this program to keep you informed in the event of an emergency. If this is an actual emergency, the attention signal you now hear will immediately be followed by official information, news, or entertainment. Warning: the following program contains material which may be unsuitable for some viewers. The unintended or unauthorized reproduction, sale, or distribution of this product is strictly prohibited. Failure to obey these laws may result in fines or imprisonment. Emergency Broadcast Network is not responsible for any of the views or opinions which are expressed in the following program, and any similarity of persons portrayed to any actual persons living or dead is purely incidental. Viewing of this videotape is not recommended for any persons who may be subject to the following conditions: dizziness, nausea, confusion, or drowsiness caused by stroboscopic or other types of rapidly flashing light, sleeplessness, agitation, or aggression caused by the continuous viewing of television for abnormally long periods of time, disorientation, panic, or memory loss caused by the involuntary reception of large quantities of simultaneous external stimuli, or any other type of abnormal physiological behavior which can be triggered by unexpected atmospheric or electrical field anomalies. Emergency Broadcast Network recommends that in the event of accidental ingestion of excessive portions of this product, notify authorities immediately.
Psychoactive drugs. Try psychoactive drugs. Try psychoactive drugs. Try psychoactive drugs. Psychoactive, 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 psychoactive drugs. Mood-altering drugs like alcohol, pot, pills, and others like marijuana. Like LSD, 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 LSD.
Blown away.
On drugs.
Blown away.
On LSD.
Blown away.
On psychoactive.
Psychological operations. Propaganda. 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 Propaganda.
Don't go away. Roddy and friends will be right back.
Whoa, hey, welcome back. I changed my mind. I want to do something else. Wow, I kind of fucked up the set in between, but that's okay. Hey, what's up? We're back. Hey, do you guys like those little interstitials? They remind me of Cartoon Network, Cartoon Fridays. Hey. Anyway, I'm a little cartoon. Did you guys know that? I don't know. Sometimes people don't realize, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I led you under false pretenses. But no, I am a little, just a fun little, silly little cartoon. Hi guys. It's me, Rachel. I'm a little cartoon. Remember? Oh, sorry guys, I forgot to let you know. I'm from inside the TV. Oh my god. Don't make those noises, Rachel Vermington. Did you really just squeal like a pig, you adorable little cretin? I was a little suspicious that you were a funny little cartoon. Well, I did just squeal like a pig. Fuck. Take me out to pasture. Heck, let Farmer Zimmerman put a leash on me, have his wife ride me around the mud puddle. Fuck, man. Alright, hey, listen. The thing is, I made myself real sad. I don't really want to, like, continue to do that. And honestly, I was outside, like, smoking pot, and I pictured myself doing an honest-to-God review of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And I realized that, actually, that's not really my place to comment. And it's incredible, and you should go listen to it. But I just want to watch, I just want to hang out and watch funny videos. Is that okay with you guys? Cool videos, funny videos, any videos at all. I don't know. I just want to hang out and watch videos. Is that okay? Is that okay, gamers? Is that fine? We're probably going to go back to break in a second here. Oh, hey, you're Canadian too. Yeah. Oh, shit. No, oh my god. My Toby cam is broken. No, why? Has it been like that the whole time? No, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that actually sucks. That's so shitty. That's the worst. I set up... Okay, well, I set up a camera that looks outside my window so that as it got darker, the background would get darker. And it didn't work. It didn't fucking work. That's maybe the worst news I've heard all day. I like videos. Alright, cool. You know what we're gonna do?
Oh shit.
I'm just gonna make a quick promo, okay guys? Because I don't want it to be angry about cops all the time. Please submit funny videos. Wah, wah. Alright, perfect. Wait, no, that's wrong. Yes, no, it's right. You guys can't see any of this, but what I'm doing right now is a vocal stim based on the actions I need to do inside of OBS in order to make the content that I'm currently making. And this is content. Hey guys, people try and tell me sometimes this is art. Saturday Night is art. No, it's not. Get fucked. Are you stupid? Like, are you actually dumb? Anyway, please submit funny videos. Please submit funny videos. Please submit funny videos. Hold on. We need the amen break. 1 hour of amen break. Where is it? One hour of amen break. Okay. I changed my mind. I'm done talking about negativity. I want to watch funny videos, and you're going to facilitate that for me. You, yes you will be my good funny video boy. Gets me every time, actually. Funniest video I've ever seen. I will be your funny video girl. Perfect. Hey, okay. Just, hey, do a big chill for me. BRB, you know? Sorry. I was enraptured by the power of the Amen break there for a second. Okay. Well, let's call it starting soon. See you then.
Don't go away. Roddy and friends will be right back.
Can I help the next guys, please?